Hey now, it's the Deadhead Daddy, and welcome to another episode of Annotation of the Dead. Today's episode I'm actually really excited about because we're covering one of the all-time classic Grateful Dead songs, one you're all very familiar with, and that is I Know You Rider. I know most of you are familiar with it being a seg from China Cat Sunflower, but the song has a pretty storied history with the band even prior to that happening. So let's get right into I Know You Rider. Alright, I Know You Rider, also known as Woman Blues and I Know My Rider, is a traditional blues song that has been adapted by numerous artists. It has appeared in folk, country, and rock guises. Modern versions can be traced back to Blind Lemon Jefferson's Deceitful Brown Skin Blues, which was released as a single in 1927. It appears in a 1934 book, American Ballads and Folk Songs, by the noted father and son musicologists and folklorists John Lomax and Alan Lomax. The book notes that an 18-year-old black girl in prison for murder sang the song and the first stanza of these blues. The Lomaxes then added a number of verses from other sources and named it Woman Blues. The music and melody are similar to Lucille Bogan's B.D. Women Blues, circa 1935, although the lyrics are completely different. By the mid-1950s, traditional musician Bob Coleman had found the song in the American Ballads and Folk Songs books and began singing an arrangement of it that he performed a lot in folk circles around Philadelphia and Boston circa 1957 to 1960. In 1959, Coleman taught it to Tossie Aaron, who recorded a version in 1960 for her album Tossie Sings Folk Songs and Ballads on Prestige International. Joan Baez recorded a version for her self-titled 1960 debut album on Vanguard Records, but the track was not released until a 2001 CD reissue of the album. Throughout the 1960s, the song gained popularity due to folk performances, most notably the Kingston Trio, who included the song Rider on their album Sunnyside. In 1963, so too did the Big Three, an American folk trio that featured Mama Cass Elliot. Folk singer Judy Roderick also recorded a version of the song under the title Woman Blue, and it became the title track of her second album, recorded and released on Vanguard in 1965. British folk singer John Renbourn recorded a version of the song titled I Know My Babe, and it was included on his 1967 solo album, Another Monday. By the mid-1960s, rock acts had begun to perform and record the song. The Astronauts released a version of on their 1967 album, Travelin' Men. Folk rock band The Byrds recorded the song during 1966 under the title I Know My Rider, I Know You Rider, but their version remained unreleased until 1987 when it was included on the archival Never Before album. It was later included as a bonus track on the expanded CD edition of the Byrds' Fifth Dimension album. The Byrds also performed the song at the Monterey International Pop Festival in 1967, though that performance was only officially released in 2024. The great James Taylor recorded a song as Circle Around the Sun on his 1968 debut album, James Taylor. Big Brother and the Holding Company, of course featuring Janis Joplin, performed it in concert, and a rendition from 1966 was released in 1984 on the live album Cheaper Thrills. Blues rock duo Hot Tuna included a version of the song titled Know You Rider on their debut live album, Hot Tuna, and have played the song many times ever since. Now we get to what you're really here for. The song was a staple of the Grateful Dead's live shows from the beginning of the band's existence in 1965. According to author David R. Shumway, the band's adoption of the song represented the forging of a bridge between their psychedelic music and their more traditional country and folk material. It was often performed by the band as a connecting song from China Cat Sunflower, and this combination was featured on their 1972 triple live album, Europe 72. The two songs sang together perfectly, and the Grateful Dead performed the combination well over 500 times in live performances. I Know You Rider was first recorded by the Grateful Dead on November 3rd, 1965 at Golden Gate Records in San Francisco during a session for Autumn Records. This version was not officially released until 2001 when it appeared on the Golden Road box set. This version was also released in 2003 on the Birth of the Dead compilation. All other Grateful Dead releases are live versions. The song was in the Dead repertoire during 1966, and though it wasn't played during 67 and 68. It then reappeared in 69, paired with China Cat Sunflower. Apart from a period during the late 70s, the China Rider combination was then a regular part of the repertoire. It was last played by the Grateful Dead on July 8th, 1995. The Grateful Dead's Seg approach to the song was later used by Bruce Hornsby and the Range in the late 1980s with I Know You Rider following the song The Red Plains. The song was covered by rock band Slightly Stoopid on their 2008 album Slightly Not Stoned Enough to Eat Breakfast, Yet Stupid. The band also performed Rider live with Bob Weir at his TRI Studios on September 9th, 2011. Marty Stewart and his fabulous superlatives often opened their concerts with I Know You Rider between 2015 and 2017 and continued to perform it live as of late 2021. Now, the term I Know You Rider comes up often in early blues songs, usually about women, but has been known to be sung from both the male and female perspectives. An example of a verse from a woman's point of view is, "Lovin' you, baby, just as easy as rolling off a log. But if I can't be your woman, I sure ain't gonna be your dog." Before 1971, the Dead used to sing a verse very similar. "I'd rather drink muddy water, sleep in a hollow log, than stay here in Frisco, be treated like a dog." According to author Bruce Jackson in his book Wake Up Dead Man, a book about early Texas prison songs, Rider was also slang for the guards on horseback who would supervise laborers. From here, the term made its way into prison blues songs like a code word for the guards that the guards wouldn't understand. As a fun side note, the portrait of Jerry on the cover of his 1976 solo album Reflections appears as a headlight on a train. Now, obviously, this is one of the many Dead songs with traditional railroad references or imagery in it. Some listeners have interpreted the lyrics as a tale of transition, one man's progression through life. He seems to realize that to grow in life, he has to leave things behind that may seem comforting, but in the end are no good for him. Wishing to be a headlight on a northbound train may express the desire to lead someone or something to better things. I really like that interpretation, and that's I've always kind of heard it that way. One of the reasons I do love the Grateful Dead so much is that perseverance seems to be a reoccurring thread that weaves its way in and out of their music. The sun will shine in my back door someday. March winds will blow all my troubles away. seems to paint an image of recovery. The lyrics do embody a sense of longing and bittersweetness, capturing the emotions of missing someone while also acknowledging the inevitability of change and the passage of time. It speaks to the universal experience of love and loss, the yearning for connection, and the hope for brighter days ahead. I Know You Writer has become so beloved over the decades that it's no longer just a song. So many Deadheads were on the road just as much as the band that it now represents a shared experience, a sense of unity, and the power of music to bring people together, even for those of us not lucky enough to go on tour with the band. Its timeless lyrics, combined with the Dead's improvisational magic, have made it a cherished staple in their repertoire. So, the next time you hear I Know You Writer, let its enchanting melody and heartfelt lyrics take you on a trip of love, loss, and ultimately hope. That's right, this is one of the all-time Grateful Dead classics. It is beloved, and it really is one of my favorite songs, especially when paired with China Rider. All right, my beautiful family, I hope you've enjoyed my take on I Know You Writer, and I would love to hear your thoughts. If there's anything you want to add to the discussion, maybe clear up some facts or add some more details, feel free to comment on the video below. I'd love to hear from you, and I'd love to continue the conversation. If you like this video, of course I would appreciate a little thumbs up, click on that button, and of course, it'd be awesome if you share it with your friends that might find this as interesting as you did. Now, I do have to ask for the obligatory subscription to my YouTube channel, as the more subscribers I get, the bigger I get, and then maybe I can monetize these videos and get some new technology to upgrade these videos, and maybe even do a podcast, which would be a lot of fun. All right, guys, if you have any other questions, if there's anything that you see in these videos from the Groovy Room, and want to know the details behind it, I would love to share that with you. If you have ideas for other songs to do, even from other bands, let me know again in the comments, or you can email me at the email below. But again, I do thank you for watching. It does mean a lot to me when you guys check these videos out, and I really love the comments as well. So, thank you for watching, and as always, stay grateful.